All right, welcome. You know what? There are no better sports fans like Detroit sports fans. And what a better way to celebrate your love for your special team than to collect the sports memorabilia, honoring those heroes. Now, welcome to Celebrate Michigan, the show produced right here on the campus of Madonna University. I'm Greg Russell, your host today, and joining me on this program are Brandon and Jessica Kosinski, and they're the owners of Brandon's Vintage Basement, a sports memorabilia-owned resale shop, and they specialize in all things Detroit sports. Welcome to the show. Glad to see you both.
Thanks for having us.
Now, tell us a little bit about Brandon's Vintage Basement and how you guys got started.
So it all started probably 10 years ago. I've always been a big collector of the Detroit Bad Boys memorabilia, shirts, anything, starter jackets, hats. Started there 10 years ago. Was a collector at first, as a lot of people are in this business. You start as a collector, and then it was like, oh, can I make some side money doing something I love and then using that money to collect the things I love? And then it kind of just boomed from there. We kind of put a big focus on just doing vintage Detroit products, where a lot of people focus on doing whatever they can find in the thrift store, whatever they can find on eBay or Facebook Marketplace. We created our own niche. People loved that, and then we became the one-stop shop to find your vintage Detroit sports gear. So that's kind of how it began.
Wow, that's great. And I got to tell you, you bought so much great stuff here. I love this shirt.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And, let's take a look, shall we, at some of the stuff you have.
Of course,
Awesome.
yeah. So behind you, we have a plethora of vintage Detroit Vipers gear. And fun fact about the Vipers, we love Detroit memorabilia so much, we went ahead and bought a defunct sports team.
Oh, yeah.
So we own the rights to the Detroit Vipers. So starting now, we're going to be releasing our own designs inspired by the vintage stuff. But behind you, it's a whole rack of vintage jackets, sweatshirts, and t-shirts that were released when the team was playing at the Palace of Auburn Hills.
Right. Wow. That's great. And a sports team owner.
Yes.
This is fabulous.
Oh, well, the goal is to bring the team back. That's the 10-year plan. But
Okay.
yeah, slowly but steady. We'll start with the merchandise and then go from there.
That's fantastic. Now, you know what? You've got so much great stuff. And talk a little bit about the interest of Detroit sports memorabilia in regards to the fans.
Well, Detroit, I mean, we're so blessed to have great sports teams. I mean, the Tigers, so much history there. The Lions with Barry. I mean, Lions fans were crazy, even though we've never brought a championship in the NFL era.
Right.
The Red Wings speaks for itself, and then the Bad Boy Pistons. I mean, like I said, it started with there for Brandon's Vintage Basement. A lot of interest. People love it. There's so many different shirts out there. One of the best things I'd say, I'll start with the Bad Boys era, is it was back in, 88, 89, 90. A lot of bootlegs out there before the big brands like Starter or Logo Athletic or, any other brand you can think of when they were selling the licensed product in the stores. A lot of people were bootlegging it, selling it outside of stadiums, stuff like that. So my favorite stuff that I collect that's not for sale, off limits, is the bootleg things that who knows how many they actually made if they're selling them in the parking lot and they're not licensed gear. People love it. I mean, if anything, like I said, Vipers, Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, it all sells well for us. People love it, like I said, with that history. So
we have always wanted to go down and sell the stuff from our car, but we haven't quite done that yet. We're not sure if we'd get in trouble or the police would confiscate the stuff.
You'd be like me. You'd be the one who they would stop.
Yeah, right?
Look at, well, all those other people are doing this, but no, I know how it goes.
I guess I should explain too. So we do vintage Detroit sports gear, so stuff behind you. Then we also make our own retro inspired Detroit designs, like what you're wearing, I'm wearing, what Jessica's wearing. Then on top of that, we now own the Detroit Vipers, so we're going to be putting out merch with that. So our love just focuses around the city of Detroit, the sports teams. They mean so much to us growing up.
Right.
So it just felt right to do.
Oh, fantastic. Love all this stuff. And Jessica, what's one of the best parts about this whole job?
We've really just been able to connect with the greater Detroit. We've been able to kind of immerse ourselves within the community, and it's cool. Everyone has a story, whether it's a locker that someone had or the trash bin or the accessories. Someone has it at their parents' house or, it's just there's so much nostalgia connected with it, and it's awesome to be able to discuss the products and everyone's experience with the Detroit sports. It's really cool.
Oh, fantastic. I was going to say, I still have my Pistons trash can.
There you
at
go.
home.
See? Yep.
Well, it's easy to have nostalgia for teams that win. So like I'm saying, it brings back to your point that
Right.
why people collect it. It's because when you have winning teams or great players,
Right.
like Barry Sanders, the best running back of all time, it's easy.
No, that's for sure. Now, what is your favorite sports team and why?
I think it started with the Red Wings,
Okay.
especially those late 90 teams, the 2002 team being my favorite team.
Okay.
I mean, Luke Robitaille, Brett Hull, Dominic Hasek, everyone on that team. Now I'm a bad boy collector.
All right.
I wasn't even alive for the Bad Boys, and I admit that. But I've gone back. It's my favorite team. They changed basketball. They created Michael Jordan. They kind of paved the way for the future of the league. And I feel like it's my duty and due diligence to put the Bad Boys on when sometimes they get swept under. It's a lot of talk of Magic, Bird, Jordan. I think a lot of people forget the 3-4 years when the Bad Boys were running that league with them.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they did it all truly off of energy and their love of the sport. I always talk about Isaiah Thomas when he had his leg amputated.
Yeah.
Hopped up and down the court.
Well, what was it, 25 points in one quarter? And
Yeah.
that has not been broken since, while he had a bum ankle. I mean, no one talks about that.
Right.
It's swept under the rug. It's our job to highlight it.
There you go. How about you, Jessica? What's your favorite team and
I'd
why?
probably say the Red Wings. We grew up going to majority of the games. We had seats like right behind the visitors bench, so we got to see a lot of good games. That's when like the fighting was like really intense.
This one was real, yeah.
Yeah, and also like when they used to throw the octopus on the ice, like that is just, you don't really see that anymore. It was awesome.
Oh, that's fantastic. You know what? This is so much fun. I can't wait to talk and find out more about your business. We got to take a quick break, but we're going to be back with more from Brandon's Vintage Basement.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, "Read your lease. No pets allowed." My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Pre-diabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
Nice. No. Oops. Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Moms everywhere are finding ways to keep kids active and healthy.
Works every time.
Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov.
Oh, come on, Randy. Animal shelter, here I come. And no, I'm not crazy or emotionally damaged. That's a stereotype. I just belong to a total loser. I'm a good dog. So if you want a pet, adopt. And if you see Randy, tell him he dropped his wallet.
Welcome back to Celebrate Michigan. I'm Greg Russell, and today I'm talking with Brandon and Jessica Kosinski from Brandon's Vintage Basement. Glad to have you both here.
Thank you.
And I'm just having a great time going down memory lane with both of you.
Awesome.
You know, just looking at all the stuff, thinking, gosh, I had that at one point. So I love it. Now, also, tell us a little bit, Jessica, you came up with a line, and it says, it's so much more than selling a t-shirt. We're creating a community. Talk about that.
Obviously, you know, the end goal is to make some money, but we really do immerse ourselves within the community. And like I said earlier, everyone does have a story, and we love hearing about the fans and their experience.
All right. I'm quite sure they all, when they see your stuff, everybody's got a story.
Yeah, it's creating community too with the other vintage people. I mean, there's people all over the country, all over the world who collect things. What's kind of crazy is the Detroit Vipers has power all the way across the globe. People love it. It's one of the best designs ever in sports, not just hockey. Right. You create community with people. You get to know them. You trade. You look out for them if they collect something. People know us as the Vintage Detroit people. Right. So if they find something, they'll contact us. We'll work it out, you know, and then we'll get it in our inventory or put it in our archive or list it for sale, depending what we want to do. It's that big community. It's honestly larger than life. Vintage just keeps getting bigger and bigger. It's just as big as sneakers now. You know, people, music, movies, sports, and vintage Detroit sports. It's just a small niche of what this community actually is.
And also, just with what you said, what is it about Detroit sports memorabilia? I mean, I travel across the country, and I'm in California. I'll see somebody with a Red Wing jersey on. Or, you know, in New York, they're wearing more Piston stuff, like you said, than they are the Knicks. Wonder why. But why is that? Why do you think the Detroit sports are just so popular all over, not the country, but the world?
Like I said before, because we win, I'd say that. And you have a big history with the Red Wings. I mean, we have 11 cups. Second best franchise of all of hockey, and having that original 6 connection. Right. And then I think, you know, the 68 and 84 Tigers, that meant a lot to a lot of people, even if you weren't from Detroit. Those teams were pretty stacked. A lot of history there, a lot of Hall of Famers. And then, yeah, I mean, Lions goes back to 1957, right? They won a championship. So you have all those older fans who are still engaged. You had the Barry Sanders era, you had the Calvin Johnson era. Yeah.
I think what's important also is like, the getting the youth involved. Right. A lot of like kids don't maybe not necessarily know the history of the sport, so it's cool when they pick up a t-shirt and we can talk to them about it and really like get them on board with the team and like what was going on. It's awesome. We also do like a lot of photo shoots, so getting, you know, the youth involved with that is a cool way to highlight our product.
Oh, absolutely. And then also thinking about, like you said, we've got so many great teams here in Detroit and had so many great teams as well. Which one seems to be your #1 seller?
I'd say Pistons. I think the Pistons gear does the best. Just the designs, like I said, going back to the late 80s, early 90s, the bootlegs of it. Right. And then the 2004 team, there's a lot of good designs. Yeah, I'd say Pistons. And now that we own the Vipers, that stuff's kind of flying off the shelves. We're kind of rebranding that, rebringing that back with the vintage and our own designs.
Also the hype with the Lions, you know, so.
But that can die down, you know, very quickly. We've learned, but yeah.
Well, and also, where do you get a lot of your stuff as far as the
So everywhere. I've been collecting bad boy stuff for 10 years. I'm a big hat guy too. Been collecting that for also a decade. Everywhere, eBay, Facebook Marketplace. Thrifting used to be good a decade ago, and then I'd say about 5 years ago that all changed because of how big vintage got. So you kind of got to know what you're looking for. Luckily, like I said, we built a niche for just Detroit sports stuff, so kind of makes it easier. We don't have to cater to an audience that we don't have to. People know exactly what we have, and if they're looking for it, they come to us. We've sold to Piston players, Lions players, Detroit rappers, a bunch of people who are looking for the specific stuff, and we're able to find it.
Oh, great. Now, what has been kind of like that golden little mystery that somebody's called up asking about, where you're kind of going, okay, we got to find this, but where do we look? What's been that?
Maybe like a Bill Laimbeer t-shirt. There's a t-shirt that said, "Have you hugged Bill Laimbeer today?" That's a tough one to find. We found that for an artist who was looking for it. So that was a good thing. And then Danny Brown, who's a pretty big hip hop artist, he's supported us and bought almost every one of our own designs. This Rodman tee included. So, and luckily he wore that on his podcast, so kind of got us a little buzz there.
Yeah, and then also you produce your own stuff.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that part of the business.
So we make retro-inspired Detroit designs. They all pay homage to old designs. We're actually, if you do remember Salem Sports used to make all those caricature tees?
Yes. Oh, wow.
The shirt you're wearing is actually made by a Salem Sports artist who worked there from like 87 to 92. His name's Mudge. He became one of our great friends. He's done probably 3 or 4 designs for us now. So it's important to hunt down artists who understand the vision we're looking for, or the artists who were there doing the design style that we want. And then we also pride ourselves on using, you can feel it, great quality blanks.
This
all
this
garment
really
dyed,
is.
made
Printed
in the
in
USA,
Detroit.
printed at Simplified in Detroit. It's just top of the line. We really pride ourselves on having high quality garments, and people notice that. It translates pretty well with the people that we're trying to sell to.
And I agree with you, honestly, when I put the shirt on, it was like, wow. I mean, this feels great. Nice, nice look.
It won't shrink.
About
Thank
it.
you.
Oh,
Custom tag inside, so we care about the little details. We're also very big on accessories. We've done air fresheners, lighters, tote bags, you name it. We're very big.
Stickers, magnets, Nalgene water bottles.
Nalgene's, hats, shorts. Marketing's very important in this business. We realized that early on when we were traveling the whole Midwest and the state of Michigan doing events. You have to market yourself. You have to spend the money into marketing yourself. It can make people care.
Oh, I can imagine. And also, I'm looking down at the hockey mask thinking, right in time for Halloween.
I know,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I need my costume,
So that will be great. And any particular season better as far as sales go?
Summer, I mean, t-shirts go like crazy. People want the tees. Right before Lion season, like the past couple weeks have been crazy. People have been wanting Lion stuff because of the hype of the season.
And then obviously like holiday market, a lot of like Christmas time, things like that.
Crew necks, jackets, it just depends. I mean, tees sell no matter what, though. People are always looking for a good t-shirt.
You know what? We've got a lot more to talk about. We got to take another break. We'll be back in just a moment with more Celebrate Michigan. So get ready. Talking more with Brandon's Vintage Basement. I got to go to the basement.
Yes. Come on over. Okay.
So my uncle calls and he says he's dizzy and he's losing his balance. I'm like, Unc, you want me to take you to a doctor? He's like, no, I'm gonna look up the symptoms. I said, your symptoms are you're dizzy and you're losing your balance. So he said, I can't get on the internet because my arm is numb. I said, well, use your good arm and dial 911. Stroke's no joke. If you or someone you love is showing symptoms of stroke, don't wait because it might be too late. Dial 911. Time lost is brain lost.
When life's this hard, it's no wonder 7,000 students drop out every school day. Visit boostup.org and help kids in your community stay in school.
welcome back to Celebrate Michigan. I'm Greg Russell, and today I'm talking with Brandon and Jessica Kosinski from Brandon's Vintage Basement that features classic Detroit sports gear and nostalgic design. And even during the break, we were just having a good time talking about all different types of things, and it's like, I can't wait to come over and hang out in the basement.
Awesome.
It's a little crowded, there's a lot of stuff, but there is space to sit, so
Okay.
at least we'd enjoy a conversation. Maybe watch the Lions game or something.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Whatever you'd like to do. And then also, you state that you pride yourself for being reusable, recyclable, and resourceful. Talk about that, Jessica.
Jessica, go ahead.
Go ahead, Jessica.
Well, we do, the way we source a lot of the vintage teas,
The way we get a lot of vintage tees, it's obviously we're selling vintage clothing, so it's already reusable there. It kind of goes back to our designs and our product, how we're making t-shirts that will last 20 to 40 years, that one day the shirt you're wearing or I'm wearing will last and become vintage itself. That's the goal with that. We really pride ourselves on just having good quality products.
So 40 years from now, we're going to come back and do another show, and it's like, I'm still going to be wearing this, and it's still going to be looking good.
Well, on top of that, our shirts are also limited. We only do 50 of each design. So once they're gone, they're gone. And then we move on to the next thing to kind of create like a scarcity.
Okay, no, that's fantastic. Like I said, people, if you're going to spend money, you want something that is going to last and look good. And like you said, not after the first wash, it all of a sudden becomes the rag to wash the car with.
Yeah.
So great.
Yeah, our price point is our price point, but you're getting quality with that. You're not just getting a Giljan t-shirt for $40 and the logo is going to wash off after one wash or one dry cycle. So
I also have to ask, brother and sister,
Yes.
obviously grew up with each other, saw each other every day. Now you're seeing each other every day at work. How's that?
It's good. We love traveling with each other. We've been all over the Midwest. We've even gone to LA a few times to dig and resource some product. It's been very good. We get along together very, very well. She's also a great aunt to my daughter, so we get to hang out all together. We're a great family. Yeah, it's awesome. No complaints at all. We don't really get under each other's skin. Maybe once in a while, but we love what we're doing, and we love hunting. And we love setting up at conventions and doing pop-ups and just selling and going back to the community, just meeting people, knowing what they like, what do they collect, what are they looking for.
And for you, Jessica, good time traveling with family?
Oh my God, yeah, of course. We get along really well. He is more of the creative. I'm more of like the financial type brain. So we mesh really well together.
Great. And just when you mentioned going to the conventions, what has been maybe the biggest wow that somebody came up and saw thinking, I never thought I'd see this, and you've got it?
We have a pretty big collection of Bart Simpson Detroit Piston gear, especially they call it Bad Boy Bart. And we went to Chicago, we went to a pretty big vintage con there, and we brought out all the heaters, and people couldn't really believe their eyes that we had 10 different variations of Bad Boy Bart. People love that.
Right.
That was one of the coolest things. Also, back in the 2004 Piston days, they made these all-over print shirts of like Ben Wallace and Tayshaun and Rip. We have the whole collection, and I've never seen anyone else have the full set. So we also had that on display, and people were pretty shocked because people may have one or two, but
And
take
they're
the
like
full set.
pristine condition. Yeah.
That's great. Now, if people want to find out more about your business and also where can they buy things, where should they go?
So I'd say Instagram is the best place to find us, brandons.vintage.basement. That's our handle. We do a lot of business there. We post all the time, very active with our stories. Other than that, we do vend at Sunday markets at Eastern Market. We just actually did Dally in the Alley at Midtown Detroit a few weeks ago. And then we're at a lot of sneaker events or other vintage events that are in the area.
Okay. And like you said, it seems like you've got everything people want. How has, people, when they come up asking about things, influenced you on buying different products?
I don't know. I feel like I have the eye for it. So when they see it, I'm kind of bringing the products. I already kind of know. I feel like I have a pretty good taste, and I know what people want and what they're looking for. We kind of carry the more higher end Detroit stuff, the rarer vintage tees, the stuff that you just don't see every day. Especially these hats on the table, the whole Heather set of the script. very hard to find. A lot of stuff like that just doesn't exist.
And a lot of the times we're styling like the client. Like we do work with different athletes and we're pulling the stuff for them that we think that they would look good in, or that's really rare that they would look good photographed in. So
we did a photo shoot with Stretch Money, who's a Detroit rapper, and Valid. They did a project called Bill and Isaiah.
Yeah.
So we did a whole photo shoot surrounding Bill and Isaiah, Bill Lambier and Isaiah Thomas merchandise and vintage bad boy stuff, and they used that for their promo, and then we dressed them for their show at L Club that they had. So just getting experiences working with people that we like, that we're fans of, has been very cool.
Oh, that's great. And again, like I said, great stuff. People, you want to check out some good sports memorabilia, go check it out here. And then also, I even have to throw this in, any Detroit Rocker stuff?
Yes, so the last event we were at, Vintage Fest in Detroit, a guy had 2 Rockers tees. I don't even think he realized what he had, and I just scooped both of them. It was just the plain logo, but there's also the Safari, the neon for soccer teams.
There you go.
Detroit Demolition. I mean, there's lacrosse, indoor soccer, anything.
We could talk for hours.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we've come to the end, but this was so great having you both here. Brandon, Jessica, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And
thanks for having us.
just can't wait to check things out again in Brandon's Vintage Basement.
come shop with us.
I am.
Yes.
I'm going to.
Follow us on Instagram.
There you go. All right. Thank you all so very, very much. And thank you for watching Celebrate Michigan. We will see you next time in another Vintage Classic t-shirt.